evening, everyone. We continue to follow that breaking news out of Tallahassee where 2 people are dead, 6 others injured after a mass shooting at the FSU campus. The 20-year-old shooter also taken to the hospital but is now in custody. Videos circulating around social media show the chaos that unfolded on campus. And we want to warn you, what we're about to show you could be disturbing for some viewers. Just hours ago, officers seen here cleaning up blood outside the Student Union building where that shooting took place. The scene tonight tells a much different story compared to earlier today. In this video, you can see police running toward the scene after receiving an active shooter call. This was all going down around noon today. The SWAT team, along with FBI and local law enforcement, all showing up and responding to the campus very quickly. But at the same time, students were running away from campus after hearing those gunshots. It was pandemonium. And also, some of those students were forced to hide inside classrooms and dorms until they were given the all clear. And tonight we're also learning more about the suspect who you see just behind me. He's now accused of carrying out this terrible crime. Heavily armed police swarmed Florida State University after a gunman opens fire inside the Student Union building just before noon today.
I was honestly in shock. My hands were shaking. Just adrenaline kicked in. I really didn't know what to do. I started tearing up. I was scared.
The video apparently shows the shooter on campus. He turns and fires a handgun as people run away. A victim lies nearby. 2 people were killed. Neither were students. 6 others were transported to a local hospital. Tallahassee Police Department Chief Lawrence Revel.
We have multiple crime scenes. This is a very large area we're covering. We have hundreds or thousands of witnesses.
Panicked students scrambled to safety. Some even ran through traffic while others took cover inside their classrooms. One student exchanged messages with her friends who were hiding.
They just said they're scared, they're in lockdown, and they just want to go home.
The alleged shooter has been identified as 20-year-old Phoenix Eicher, an FSU student who was shot by police. Officials say he's also the son of a local sheriff's deputy and used one of her weapons that was found at the scene. Leon County Sheriff Walt McNeil.
We will make sure that we do everything we can to prosecute and make sure that we send a message to folks that this will never be tolerated here in Leon County, and I dare say across the state.
Well, as no surprise, Florida State is also canceling all of its classes tomorrow. This includes all of the home athletic events that were scheduled throughout the weekend. Officials will be discussing when they plan on reopening the university. Governor Ron DeSantis posting a video sending his prayers to the entire community and his promise for the suspect being held in custody. Take a listen.
Casey and I stand in solidarity and are praying for the entire Florida State community. We're mourning the 2 individuals who lost their lives in this tragic attack, and we wish well those who are currently recovering in the hospital. This killer must and will be brought to justice to the fullest extent of the law.
All of this, by the way, carried out just about a half-mile away from the Capitol where DeSantis was earlier today. Well, the shooting comes also just 2 weeks after the state's Senate's Criminal Justice Committee in Tallahassee had narrowly voted down a bill that would have allowed Florida college students to carry guns on campus. The bill's sponsor is former Florida Senator Randy Fine, who was just elected to the U.S. Congress.
Because the fact of the matter is, the only response to a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. And the good guys showed up after 7 people had been shot, 2 killed. So the fastest way to defend yourself from a lunatic is to have your own gun.
Fine served 8.5 years as a lawmaker in Tallahassee and left at the end of March. Not only was it the last bill that he sponsored, but he says it's the only bill that wasn't signed into law. He is now heading to Congress. Some students at Florida State are reliving the same tragedy they were faced with 7 years ago. And the Parkland school shooting. That was back in 2018. Nearly 2 hours after the shooting, Joshua Gallagher posted on X saying that he had heard the active shooter alarm on campus. He is not the only Parkland victim, hoping now for change. Fred Gutenberg, the father of Jamie, who was killed in 2018 shooting, also posting, quote, because of the many people who refused to do the right thing about reducing gun violence, I am not surprised about what happened today.
When I see the images, it brings me back to 7 years ago, 100%. When I went on Twitter at the time, what was Twitter after I found that there were shots fired at Stoneman Douglas, and just seeing the students run with their hands up and law enforcement darting to the building to rescue the students at the time. Seeing the pictures at Florida State University today of kids running out of the building and law enforcement responding brought me back to 7 years ago. And it makes me sick to my stomach that 7 years later, this is still happening. And it really made me think for a second, how much can we do to stop this problem? But I have to remind myself that we can do a lot and we've done a lot, and that we need to expand upon the things that we've done over the past 7 years.
That was Hunter Pollock. He lost his sister in the Parkland school massacre. Of course, we'll continue to follow this story out of Tallahassee. Make sure that you have our CBS 12 News app downloaded to your phone. We'll send you breaking updates the second we learn them.